Hi there. Hopefully this is recording, and if so, this is Andrew Ritter, and welcome to We Like to Move It. And hopefully here I just start a little bit about this podcast. This is an informal outlet for me at Mover to connect with you on all things moving. And today I'll take you on the journey on how it all really began. So beginning of Mover, the origins of Mover is really began with self-storage. We were a tech platform designed to make storage more convenient. And by making storage more convenient, it was set up so that you could easily store your belongings without ever having to go to the storage facility. So anyway, that which was a good concept. It started off quite well. But what we realized in the process of this is that we had needed high quality movers, and we weren't the ones to do it. And moving was a really specialized job and required expertise. And that's when I learned about the inefficiencies in the moving process. That's from the bookings to the preparation and the notifications. There's so many things that go on in booking the move, which was in our case was booking both the move and the storage, that we realized, wait a minute, the moving companies are out there doing what they do best, which is lugging and moving and making sure all that goes well out on the field. And they needed really a better way, independent way, and also the customer really needed a better independent way to communicate and connect to make the move more efficient. And so we'll start with the customers themselves. What we realized, and what I realized specifically here, is that what their preference were in terms of getting a quote. So in a traditional moving concept, by the way, I'll say this now, all this is happening pre-corona virus, and so it just coincidentally also ended up becoming very efficient way to do things with the coronavirus in taking place. So back to this now, the preference in the quoting process from the customer was for a more efficient quote. The customers were not wanting to have the moving companies come to their home directly. Customers were wanting to get a quote immediately, but then customers were wanting to communicate with the moving companies on their time. And which is all understandable, and I understood it. I was I was one of these customers. But what is not thought about is the problems that can occur with the moving companies. So starting with the quote itself, you telling the moving companies, well, I've got a bed, I've got a table, I've got a few chairs, I've got this, I've got that, is really not specific enough, and it really doesn't tell the movers enough to become adequately prepared to give you the best move. And the best move means giving you the best price at the end of the day, and the most efficient for your time as well as their time. And the most efficiency would mean that any bed sizes are different. We got to look at a fridge. It could be different size, can be different. The weight is very important. The dimensions of getting something in and out of a home. And I can take an example, could be in many cases, what we've experienced is people building IKEA products within their home. These assembled products could not be taken out of the home or unit in their assembled state. And so what's forgotten is that these things now were assembled in there, but would never have been able to get in and out in an assembled state. So they need to be disassembled in order for the movers to effectively take the product out of their home or unit. So there was a lot of that. And then a lot comes with just the knowledge for the customer on how to prepare and how to save on their move with the preparation. And then other key items would be the parking, city ordinances on where they can and can't, on when you can and can't park. Do you need permits? What is specifically required and when you should apply for permits for these sort of things? If you're in a condominium or an apartment building, what is the elevator access, reservations for the elevator, all these sorts of things. And then where the customer is moving to and from, or from and to, that directly affects the type of movers that we would assign for the move. And of course, what is being moved? And the type of items that are being moved, and are they specialty items, such as a piano, also reflects the type of moving company best suited for that particular move. And so that brings really to getting an idea on all the customers, and I may give a quick background on Muva. Again, we'll finish, I'll give you our website and you can review explanatory videos on how everything works. But quickly, it's very important that we're selecting the best mover for you based on this criteria that you provide us. And that makes it simple because yes, there are can be lots of very good movers. There are also lots of not so good movers. And it's hard to decide what mover do you pick for a specific job, depending on where you're going to and from, and that mover to provide both the highest quality move, the expertise with that move, and also the best value on price for that move. So there's a lot of things to consider, and then there's a lot of people, I'll actually get into that later, but we'll get into some of the criteria for people, and also that could get into booking whether you even really need a mover. Do you want to just do this yourself, and when that sort of situation might come up. So we'll go into briefly also about the people within Muva. We have Shavi Mawada, who's handled our social media and also our awareness. We're trying to make sure people are aware of what we're doing and understand what we do here at Muva as a tech platform. Again, we're not the moving companies. And then Annie Naldani is handling customer experience and mover experience. So we want to make sure that not only with the customers that we have, that they have a very good experience with us, Muva, as a tech platform, but we also have a duty, very important for us to ensure we understand what the customer's experience was and is with the moving companies that are on our platform. And so Annie is managing that side of it. And then we've got Nick Swenson, and Nick is handling both tech development and tech support. And that's very key. We are a tech platform. We are very unique in how we work as a tech platform. We provide the movers a video of everything that needs to be moved. And this enables the moving companies to accurately give a quote without coming to that person's home. And that's something, maybe I should have mentioned this sooner. Again, it is on our explanatory video on how everything works. But by providing a video and providing all the details, some of the details that I discussed just a few minutes ago there, in terms of access and all the information necessary, the moving company can now give an accurate quote without actually having to come to the person's home. So there are many moving companies out there, I can say, that will give you a quote directly based on what you tell them, but they would typically give you a quote on a price per mover per hour, and they're not properly, adequately prepared to know how many hours it will take. Because depending on what you really have and everything that's involved, they won't know until they actually get there. And so providing the video allows the mover, think of it this way, to be more prepared for the move themselves. And the more prepared the mover is for the moves themselves, the more efficient the move's going to be, and the better it's going to be in terms of security of the move, but it's also better in terms of your cost. They are more prepared, they're ready, they understand how many movers they need for a specific job. They're already prepared and they're thinking about how to move a heavy item out of your home and how they're going to go, what are the access points, how they're going to deal with elevators, or how they're going to deal with a garage, how they're going to deal with where they're parking the truck, etc. And so that's all very important, and Nick's done a great job, and all the whole tech team have done a great job in enabling this to be done by the customer by showing a video, answering the questions on our app, and that enables the moving company to review the quote on their time. That's an important piece. They don't have to come out to the customer's home. And from a customer's perspective, you could request a quote at midnight, 1 a.m. in the morning, 11 p.m., 6 a.m., whenever you feel like is convenient for you to take that short video, and the efficiency is dramatically better now. And that saves time and saves money. Anyway, Nick's done a great job with that. And then there's also tech support. We're constantly improving what we've got. We've added a chat function so that people can chat directly over the app, which is much easier than having to organize phone calls back and forth. There might be questions about things, moves, etc., etc. That's all now available on our app. And we've found that function and the video function and the informative questions and answers, the customers have found that very helpful, and also the movers, which now I'd like to get onto a little bit about our movers. And we talk about some of the things they need. Well, probably some of the things they're getting from the customer or they're getting from us in terms of the videos, and a little bit of that. That's very important, that they understand both the size and weight and dimensions. And so in addition to being able to view that, really gives them a very good idea. Being able to view the access points, being able to review the different rooms within the condominium or home, it gives them a very good understanding of what they're dealing with. And so that part has been very key for what the movers need. It's also then we have to look at, how do we select, well, this has been asked to us, how do we select the movers for a particular move? And actually, many movers have approached us about being on our platform. And how do we select and decide which movers can and can't be on our platform? So the can and can't be is a rather interesting question. We spend time individually, we all spend time individually interviewing with the movers. I spend most of the time at this point personally understanding how their operation works and making sure that we're actually a good fit for them, besides them being a good fit for us. Because if we're not a good fit for them and with what they're doing, then it's just not going to be good for everybody. And there are plenty of good movers out there that would not be a good fit for us. That might be because they don't have the ability to view video. They don't want to. It's not something they're wanting to do. The service areas that they work, or the type of work that they're doing, doesn't in line with what we're typically the customer base that we are best for. And maybe I could give an example like that. That might be, if you have only a few small things to move, then we're not likely to be the best source. That would be maybe putting it in the truck, getting some friends, using a U-Haul, whatever that might be. We require that all our movers on our platform be fully licensed and insured, of course. That's just a given. Some are very good that don't have all the licenses. They have some. In our case, you have to have all the licenses within all the states that you're going to be wanting to perform work. And that then gets to the type of moves that the movers do. And we have to choose, when we pick a mover on our platform, we want to ensure that they're going to be ideal for the types of moves that we're getting quotes from customers. So if a customer might be moving from one end of town to another and might have a small move, then that would be a different mover than if they've got a very large home and they might be moving across the country. And so that, for us, is very important that we've got those niche movers on our platform. We have a little bit about us now. We launched in Los Angeles, California. We have since expanded throughout Southern California to include both Ventura County, Orange County, and now San Diego County. We have also expanded up into now really include the entire region of California, being we've moved into both the Silicon Valley and the San Francisco area, and we are also expanding across to Sacramento and other parts of California. So now we have pretty much covered the entire California. We have since that point, actually, we've now expanded to cover all of the United States. We are primarily still in the state of California is our primary market. However, we are moving people all across the United States, and recently we've started to look with moving to people out of New York City, and we're moving people across California to other states, all the way across the United States, Nevada, Colorado, etc. So that's a little bit about where we've got to. We are adding a service. We've added a service for some specific international moves out of the United States. We're not moving anyone into the United States at this point. It's all out of the United States. But we have also my background being Australian, and we realised there were a lot of need for Australians in the United States looking to move home. We are enabled to feature recently for moves to both moves or shipping both to Australia and New Zealand. So that gives you, I hope, that gives you a very quick, short roundup of what we're doing here at Muva. There's always plenty of questions that we get. We're happy to answer them. Feel free to reach out to us with questions anytime you want, or if you just want to chat with us with our chat functions. You can find us on Instagram under @Muva Inc. and download the Muva app and check us out. We'd love to hear your feedback. Website is www.themuva.com, THEMUVA.com. Keep moving, guys, and see you next time. Thanks again for all your time here. Cheers.